helping your wife is a choice. It's the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. If you do that, definitely you are going to gain.
You need to start with being medically fit, especially if you have a health condition.
I lock up myself in the restroom and I gorge myself with a bottle of a drink. Who's gonna know I did that? Nobody. But then I don't do that.
Engage yourself in charity. It cleanses the soul.
What do you think about our naan bread and chicken kebab? Beautiful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another captivating episode of Ramadan with Hollandia, a show to help us with our spiritual journey in this holy month and bring you tantalizing recipes, of course, from our kitchen corner. I am your host, Asma Gambo. On today's episode of Ramadan with Hollandia, we shall be discussing the working woman's guide to a successful Sahur and Iftar. Shirin zai ci gaba bayan mun dawo hutun takaitaccen lokaci. Stay tuned.
Ramadan is a time of sharing light, joy, and nourishment. This Ramadan, let's share more than meals. Let's share moments that bring us together. Hollandia, lighting hearts, homes, and communities.
Barkanmu da dawowa. Today we're discussing the Career Woman's Guide to a Successful Ramadan, giving practical tips on how to overcome challenges that Sahur and Iftar may pose. With me here is Fatimah Abdulsalam, who is a banker. It is good to have you here, Fatimah.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Yeah, Azumi.
Alhamdulillah.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's dive into the question now. What are those extra things that we women do during Ramadan that, of course I know that it's rewarding, but I need you to mention them. What are those extra things that we do that we don't usually do them when it's not Ramadan, but they are added to our tasks during Ramadan?
I don't want to talk about cooking.
We have to,
because we cook every day.
I know.
Yes, but then because we are in the fasting period.
Yes.
It's I don't want to say
it's extra.
It's extra.
It's extra.
So be it as it may, I actually used to say that my meals taste better during Ramadan.
They taste better during Ramadan.
I don't know and I don't taste them, but so the extra things like maybe cooking, the chores, the trying to please everybody, trying to make things fall in place, they are extra demanding. And then the ibadah, try not to lose out of the reward. Sometimes you're engaged in cooking, you feel like as a woman you should just concentrate on that.
Yes.
But after the period, you feel you have lost the guilt. Like, I didn't really attain that maximize the period of Ramadan. So I can't just point it at just one thing, but there are various things that could bring about extra activities.
Okay, so as a working woman now, how do you think a woman can cope and still be productive at work during Ramadan? What can she do? How can she cope with Sahur? Let's talk about specifically for Sahur. You have to make your Sahur before you go to work. So how can you, be able to do that and then still be productive at work?
Like I said earlier, it's a 30 days period. Dedication.
Okay.
If you have to dedicate that time, for just 30 days, and you have other days that you can dedicate to work, just carve out that 30 days and say, okay, these 30 days, I'm going to do this.
I'll make it work.
I'll make it work.
Okay.
Have that positive mindset. You just have to be optimistic.
First.
Yes.
I like that you mentioned the mindset thing. We should know that, yes, it's Ramadan. It's just 30 days. We need to just get it done. Yes. So, but now I want you to narrow it down. Tell me practically, what can a woman do to ensure that, sahur is done at the time that it's supposed to be done. And then, of course, she is still productive at work. Just let's see what she can do to ensure that she's productive at work.
Okay. You just have to keep it simple.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, keeping it simple and eat simple. So you don't have to just assume that, okay, it's sahur, I need to get all the meals. Like for me, I just take simple meals. I go for beverage and just a little bit of bread. So I try as much as possible to just keep it simple. I think that keeps me going. And then in between, I try to like take some rest during my salat, so I could just be ready for the day's activity. And I don't want to say it's tasking, because if you have to go to work and like you don't want to get hold up in traffic, you'll leave early.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
if it's Ramadan, wake up early, do what you have to do. Just keep it simple. Sometimes we go to work without even eating, just to make sure that you get.
I know when it's not Ramadan. Yes.
So you don't need much meals. For me, I just have to just make it simple so I could just get to work and then be productive at work as well.
Great. So we've spoken about sahur. Now let's move on to iftar. How do you think a career woman can manage her time wisely, especially during iftar? You've gone to work, we've done sahur, we've gone to work, you've been productive if we follow your plan, and then you're back home now. How can you manage your time wisely?
Somehow tricky.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's hear it from you.
Somehow tricky, and I want to say that there's no encyclopedia to where you can actually read and say, okay, this is what I have to do. The number one thing I do is to plan ahead of time. Okay. And then my iftar preparation starts from my sahur.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually start my iftar preparation from sahur. My vegetables, my condiments, my ingredients, I just get them ready and freeze them.
Okay.
So it makes it easier for me when I get back. Because most times these kids are already in school and then they're also exhausted by the time they get back. So I don't want to leave it at that for them to like, okay. So by the time I get back, it's just within 30 minutes to 45 minutes, the meal is ready, because I already have my condiments and ingredients. If I want them fresh, so I could just prepare them that morning during sahur and keep them in the fridge. So it's not usually tasking for me and that process. And then most times I believe majority of women use beans during
of course, during Ramadan to make
yes. So and what I do is that I buy them in bulk and then I wash them and dry them.
Before Ramadan.
Yes, keep them in an airtight container with bay leaves. So I just leave them there. So when I'm going to work in the morning, I just get some, soak them in water,
quantity you want to use.
the quantity I want, keep them inside water and then keep them in the fridge and go to work. When I'm back, it just takes me within 30 to 45 minutes to prepare what I want.
It takes away the time you need to spend washing the beans, peeling it, yes. Okay.
So my iftar, the preparation for my iftar starts from my sahur. That's what I do.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, it's been an interesting discussion so far, but let's quickly go to our kitchen corner. Stay tuned. Okay, so back to our discussion.
Okay.
Can you tell me what plans you have in place, or what do you do in the event that, you know, you close work late? I'm sure there are so many instances that happened. Do you have any plan to fall back on at home, or what do you do? How do you sort that out if you're going to go back home late for iftar?
Okay. I want to say timing and scheduling.
Okay.
Because I understand my organization, and I know that there are periods where we close late. So those times, within those weeks, I try as much as possible to prepare some certain meals that I can freeze in the refrigerator. So those are the things that I can easily fall back to. Yes, they come in handy because I just keep them in the freezer for certain occasions like this, like when I'm not able to meet up. So they could always just, if the people at home are ready to break their fast, they could just go to the freezer and pick salt and use.
Who are these people at home?
The family, my family, my children, and everybody.
Who is the person responsible to help out? I believe it's Oga. Who is the person that is responsible, you know? What, let's say they can't even communicate. You're in a meeting, you know, you couldn't just excuse yourself and come out. What would they do in that instance?
Timing and scheduling. We already know that. They already know that.
Okay.
This period is Ramadan. Okay, Mom, this meal that you're making, it's going to be in the fridge. Should in case I don't come home on time or I close late and all that, something happens. You just bring this out, warm it, and then use it.
Okay, so you've already you've had a prior discussion.
Yes.
If something like that happens, this is the plan that we have.
Yes.
Awesome, amazing.
That is what we'll fall back to.
So Fatima, we've been talking about meal preparation and all. Let's go back now to the essence of Ramadan, which is ibadah. What plans do you put in place to ensure that you maximize, you know, the benefits of the holy month?
I'm always on timing and scheduling.
You've mentioned that
several times.
Timing, scheduling, and
planning before time, ahead of time, and all that. So I try as much as possible to prepare my meals before 5, and then use the warmer for them, so I can have time to recite the Holy Quran. But while preparing the meals, I engage in istighfar. Yes, I engage in istighfar. I listen to tafsir. I put on my radio. It's always by my side in the kitchen.
Yes.
So even at the place of work, I listen to my tafsir and I engage in my istighfar too. And then when I wake up for sahur, I do the same thing too. So it helps me, it builds me spiritually, and gives me the essence of that holy month.
MashaAllah. May Allah crown all of our efforts.
Amen.
That was very enlightening. Let's quickly take a look at our last segment, which is the Did You Know segment. Do you like to drink milk but are scared of what happens to you after you drink it? No worries. Hollandia has got the solution for you. With Hollandia lactose-free milk, you can enjoy the great taste of milk and get the nutrients your body needs without any discomfort. That was a lovely fact. Now you know that Hollandia has a solution for your lactose intolerance. Thank you so much, Fatima, for joining me today.
The pleasure is mine.
But before you go, I have a gift for you.
Thank you.
Like a company in Hollandia.
Oh, now good. Oh, thank you so much. Hollandia yogurt strawberry is actually my favorite.
MashaAllah.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. To jama'a, da haka muka zo ƙarshen shirin, and I Asma Gambo nike ce muku ma'assalam.